Hello, we are back again. Back to it. Mr. Consistency over here. 3 days in a row, three videos. Absolutely no one's watching. My topic today is telling the truth. Um, it's something that's been amazingly important to me, especially because I have been a person in the past who has been really deceitful and manipulative and lived most of my life lying about the most random things. Basically, it started off with just me having really low self esteem, and it started with me lying about who I was, and I would pretend to be someone else around people who were outside of my family. And it got to quite a concerning stage in life where I was doing it even as an adult to girls, to friends, to random people who didn't know me. I just felt the need to lie about what I was doing for a job, the money I made, who I was as a person. And it stemmed from me not being happy with myself. And it's a very basic thing to boil it down to, but that is exactly what it was, just having extremely low self-esteem, not being happy of not being happy about where I was in life, and instead of doing hard things to propel myself forward and become happy with who I am in life, I decided to just lie to people that were around me about who I was. And that is definitely not something I would recommend anyone to do. If that's something that you are currently doing, I highly recommend that you stop right in your tracks and turn around. It can lead to a life of disaster and misery and a lot of pain and a lot of hurt to people that love you, people that care about you. It can lead you down a really dark track of your own mental health and the things you're willing to do for a lie. So if you're someone who's caught up in a lie about your life, and I know it seems like a massive thing, I've been in the thick of it myself, where I felt like I could never escape some of the stuff that I was lying about. Like I felt like it was, I would rather have died than have the truth exposed about me. But now that I'm in a place where a lot of truth has been exposed about my life, I've gone out and actually told quite a few people my story of things I've done, and it's been really freeing. Every time that I was caught in a lie, and for example, every time I was caught in a lie, and um, whenever people would find out, it would feel relieving, like something was lifted off your shoulders, like you didn't have to pretend anymore. You could actually do something this time. But for some reason, for a very long time, I was caught up in a cycle of constantly getting myself back in there, back in those lies, because I didn't work on the actual problem. Um, but yeah, I heard this thing by Jordan Peterson, and he said, if you've been lying for a long time, you should try and tell nothing but the truth. To the best of your ability, do nothing but tell the truth and see what an adventure that will take you on. And when I first heard that saying, I had no clue what that meant or what that would look like. When I applied that to my life over a span of many months, I see just how true that is. The paths that I've gone down because I was truthful, the people I've met, the conversations I've had with people, the things I've learned about people have been so crazy. And I would have never experienced those things if I had not told the truth. Another great thing to live by is to tell the truth in every situation and act as though the result of telling the truth is the best possible result that could ever happen. So no matter what happens as a result of you telling the truth, that's the best possible result in that situation. Um, if you think about it, if you're lying about who you are and you're going about your days with that lie about who you are, then you're not really in control of yourself. It's almost as though you're a puppet being controlled by a lie. And when you think about the lie that's controlling you and what that thing is, as if you picture it to be an entity, um, if you follow that train of thought, you can see just how scary that might be. Um, I understand not everyone is spiritual and not everyone thinks about stuff like that, but so if you are in a spot right now in life where you feel like you're caught in a lie, you feel like your whole life is just full of lies, your relationship is full of lies, no one really knows you for truly who you are. I know how hard it could be, but I strongly urge you to try and find someone that you trust and tell them. Just start with one person. Just start by telling the truth. I know I would have never listened to this advice. I always waited until things fell apart and people found out. And even when people did find out, I would still then try and hold on to a lie. And it took me years to be able to get to a spot to be completely honest about what I was doing. And I just want to warn people against doing something like that. You can waste so much time in life and you can go down a path that is just so unnecessary. I read somewhere that you can describe hell as things in life are really bad and only getting worse. And if you're lying about your life and you're lying to people in your life, that's exactly how I would describe it. Things in your life are bad and they're only getting worse, and that can be described as hell. But there's good news. As soon as you turn around, and as soon as you turn around from that direction and admit that you're wrong and admit that you are a liar, but you want to be truthful, you can start stepping towards heaven. That's when you're moving towards something greater. You're stepping into the best version of yourself. Um, so yeah, if you feel like your life is hell right now because you've been lying and you feel like you're caught out in it, just dig your heels into the ground and turn around. Um, because the longer you stay on the track of lying, the more you're going to have to pay for it. At the end of the day, everyone will have to pay for things they've done and people they've hurt. So just make sure that if you're on the wrong train, that you get off as soon as possible. Because the further you go, the longer it's going to take you to get back to your destination. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for listening.